Hi guys, I hope you guys are doing well. Isn't this so much fun? You can watch all your teachers on YouTube. Okay, so we're gonna start with our book. We're on page 70 and 71, and we're also gonna do 72 and 73 because since we don't have class on Thursday, because it's Father's Day, it's a holiday, that's what we're gonna do. So I expect you guys all to email me the homework from this. It is obligatory, okay? So what we're gonna do first is, can you remember what we were talking about in the last class? We were talking about migration, and we did some stuff about the USA, the map, all that good stuff. Now we're gonna talk a little bit about home. Okay, I'm going to give you guys about 2 or 3 minutes to write all of the expressions or words related to home in your notebook. So don't look at your book, just do it in your notebook first, okay? So pause the video and I want you to write that in your notebook. All of the expressions you can think of that are related to home, okay? So pause the video and do that. And when you're finished, unpause the video and you can watch the rest. So have a look at number 1. It says complete the sentences with the correct form of the expressions below. So, by the way, sorry, my phone camera keeps making everything really dark and really light. It's really annoying, so please just bear with me. Apologies as well. So, you have 9 questions and you have different phrases in the box. I'm going to say the phrases and I want you to copy my pronunciation. Okay? So, make yourself at home, feel at home, homeless, leave home, be home to, feel homesick, homegrown, hometown, and homemade. Okay, so I'm going to give you some examples of what they mean because I'm not sure if you're going to know what they mean. So make yourself at home is when you go to a different place and maybe a friend's house or a hotel, and you are told by someone there that you need to make the place where you are staying there feel like your home. So if you go to a friend's house and they say, make yourself at home, it means just be comfortable. Do here what you would normally do in your own house. The next phrase is feel at home. I think that's kind of obvious. You just feel good, like as if you were at home, because where's the best place? You feel really good at home. Maybe not now because we're home too often, but feeling at home. Home is usually the most comfy, happy, cozy place and you want to be there. So if you feel at home somewhere else, that's great. It means you feel really good and comfortable there. Homeless, you don't have a home. Somebody who lives on the street and doesn't have a home is a homeless person. Leave home, that's obvious. Like when you go to university, usually, I mean in the UK and the US, it's really common to leave home. Be home to. So, for example, right now, Spain is home to me and my family. Be home to, our garden is home to a bunch of rabbits, for example. Okay, feel homesick. This is when maybe you go on a trip. And I remember you guys told me you never felt homesick, which I thought was really strange. I always feel homesick when I go away from my family. It means you just miss your family and you want to be with them. And yeah, you just miss everything about home. Homegrown. So maybe if you have like a vegetable garden or fruit or something like that in your garden, homegrown just means that it's grown at home. It's not from a supermarket. It's not from anywhere else but your own house and you grew it. Okay, so your hometown is where you were born. Okay, my hometown is a small place in Nebraska. Your hometown is probably where we are now. Okay, and homemade means that you made it yourself. You didn't buy it somewhere. I like to make homemade bread or biscuits or whatever instead of buying them. Okay, so can you guys please do number 1 in your notebook with the appropriate word? Okay, and I want you to send me that on WhatsApp. So number 1 on page 70. Send that to my WhatsApp. Okay, and now I'd like you guys to have a look at number 5. So we're not going to do 2 and 3 and 4, okay? We're just gonna skip to number 5. You have a multiple choice close, okay? Which means you have to choose the correct letter, A, B, C, or D, for the space. This is your exam part, well, one of the first parts of your exam, the reading and use of English part, okay? Actually, sorry, it's part 1. I don't know what I'm saying. It's not one of the parts, it's part 1. So can you please read Emma's blog? Okay, and just don't answer any of the questions yet. Don't circle any letters. Just read it. And in your notebook, I want you to write one thing that you learned from that text. What is it about, basically? What's the text talking about? Okay, when you're done with that, I want you to look at questions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and look at the spaces. Are there any words before or after the space that could be a collocation? Maybe you have a preposition or you have a verb and you know which preposition it's supposed to be. It could be a phrasal verb, it could be a saying, because in this part 1 of the exam, you always need to focus on collocations. Okay, guys? So have a look at that and have a look at any of the words here, and please write to me on WhatsApp and ask me what some of the words mean. If you don't know, don't just suffer in silence, or also maybe take a little bit of initiative and look in the dictionary or look online, okay? When you're finished with this, with part 5, please send me this, and I can correct it, and that's all, or I can just send the answers to WhatsApp. Okay, guys, so that's page 70 done. On page 71, we already talked about have or get something done. Just to remind you what that is, it's when somebody does something for us. And have and get in this context are exactly the same. I have my nails done every week. That's not true. Or I get my nails done every week. It's not always the present either. It can be in the future, the present continuous, the past. It can be in any tense. Okay, so what you need to have first is the subject, I, plus get or have, or in got or have, or any tense that it is. So the subject, get or have, then the object, my nails, I get or have my nails, and then the last part is the past participle, done, or painted, or fixed, or whatever you want to say, okay? So you always need a past participle at the end. This structure has 4 parts. I, have or get, my nails, done. Subject, have or get, object, the thing that you're doing the action to, plus past participle. Okay? And this is a really high frequency type structure. It's always going to appear in your exams. Okay? So it's really important that you learn this. And if you don't understand, ask me. I'm always available. Please write to me on WhatsApp or email, whatever you feel comfortable. But please ask me. Don't just do it in a hurry. Okay? Do it properly. So the last thing I'd like you guys to do is have a look at page 71, number 9, the keyword transformations. So obviously this is part 4 of your exam, and we've practiced this so many times. So remember when I told you guys what the structure, not the structure, the technique, how you guys need to do this type of an exercise? Please, please, please do it. Don't just put whatever you think because you're in a hurry. Cross out similar information in the first sentence, the original sentence, and the other sentence that you need to fill in. Look for what type of grammar they're trying to test you on. Try some options and read it out. Does it make sense? Do the 2 sentences make sense? Be careful with positives and negatives. But yeah, and remember, you have 2 words or 3 words or 4 words or 5. But 5 is the max and 2 is the minimum. Okay, so can you guys please pause this video now? Do exercise 9, the keyword transformation on page 71. And then after you're finished, unpause the video and we'll do it together on the board. Okay, so pause the video now, do the exercises, and then we'll do it together on the board. Okay, so hopefully by now you've paused the video. And now we're gonna do it together. So I'm gonna use red. I have to apologize ahead of time because sometimes my camera makes things really dark and it might make this really dark when we're doing it. So bear with me again. Here are the keyword transformations. So, so hang on just a second, okay?
Daddy?
Hang on, go in the other room then, okay? So, have a look at number 1. He, in the last rugby match. And your word, I believe, let me have a look. Your word was, sorry, let me just look at that. I've lost the page. Your word, I think, was half or got. I can't remember. Oh, no, sorry. It was got. Okay. It was got. So, he, in the last rugby match. Someone broke his nose in the last rugby match. He, in the last rugby match. The answer is he got his nose broken. Let me just write that for you. He got his nose broken. Okay, can you guys see that? He got his nose broken in the last rugby match. If you have that as your answer, give yourself a big tick. Well done. Okay, number 2. Last week. I asked somebody to set up my computer software last week, and you needed to use the word installed. So, what do you think? The answer is I got or I had my computer software installed. Okay? Also for number 1, it can also be had. I don't know why I just put got. It can be had or got. It's the same. Okay? So I'll just write that up there. Had or got. Number 2 is I had. Oops, I just made a mistake. Okay, had, oh, that looks really bad. Okay, hang on. I had or I got my computer software installed. Computer software installed. My whiteboard is very small, so I've written outside of the lines. That's okay though. You can read it. That's the important part. So do you see number 2? I had or got my computer software installed last week. That's the answer for number 2. Number 3, they're still deciding a date for the exam. You needed to use decided. A date for the exam, yet. The answer is has not or hasn't been decided. Okay, so we're just going to do the abbreviation. You know that counts as 2 words anyway, but it's just more common to use abbreviation. So, hasn't been decided yet. Okay, hasn't been decided yet. Do you see number 3? A date for the exam hasn't been decided yet. Good. So number 4 says, we want you to feel that you're at your own house while you are here with home. Okay, so this is where these expressions come in handy. We want you to make your stay. Make yourself at home during your stay. So we want you to make yourself at home during, sorry, the spaces are so small, during your stay. So there's number 4. We want you to make yourself home during your stay. Okay, guys, with me so far? Number 5. Oh, I've just drawn on the wall. Okay, number 5. She went to the garage on Botley Road so that the mechanic could fix her car. You need to use the word had. She at the garage on the Botley Road. You need to use had. She had. Okay, I just realized something. In number 1, the word was got. That's why you needed to use got, not had. But I hope you understand what I mean. You can interchange have and get, but if the actual word in the question for the transformation is get or got, use that. Okay, I just realized that. But anyway, let's continue with number 5. Number 5, she had her car fixed. Okay, you could also say she got her car fixed, but yeah, because the word in bold is had, you need to use had. So, number 5, she had her car fixed at the garage on Botley Road. Very good. Okay, number 6, the final one. In 1931, people thought the Empire State Building was the tallest structure in the world, and you need to use believed, okay? Please tell me you know this, because we've done this structure 1,000 times, okay? In 1931, the Empire State Building, Please, please, please use the correct tense, okay? It's was believed to be. Remember this type of passive form? Please tell me you remember, or I'm going to cry, okay? In 1931, the Empire State Building was believed to be the tallest structure in the world. So there's number 6. In 1931, the Empire State Building was believed to be the tallest, etc. structure in the world. Okay, guys, really well done for that. I'm sure you all did excellent, and I'm sure because we've done this a lot of times, okay? So normally we would just stop there, but because we don't have class on Thursday, let's do a little bit more. Go in your books to page 72, okay, to the part where it says writing. Yes, you need to do a writing, and I'm expecting a writing, and if you don't do the writing, I shall write to you asking for your writing, okay? So have a look where it says getting started. When do you think you will leave your family home? Would you like to leave home sooner or later, and why? I remember last week some of you said you didn't really think you were going to leave home. You weren't so keen on that. You weren't really excited about that. And that's pretty much the complete polar opposite of all American and British culture. When we turn 18, we are out of there. We are out of our house. We're excited to go to university, be independent, away from our parents. Yeah, that's just how it is. I don't know. We're just so excited about that. It's like a huge milestone in a teenager's life. It's like when you finally leave your parents' house. It's just something we're excited about. And we don't tend to go back. But I know that here it's something that's totally cultural, and it's normal to stay in your parents' house. And I can see the definite advantages of that as well. So there's no right or wrong way. There's just many different ways. So can you have a think about this? Do you think, again, that you would ever want to leave your house when you go to university, or if you go to university, or with whatever you do in your life? What would you prefer to do? Do you want to stay living with your parents for a while, or leave their house? And why? Okay, so in number 1, you have an essay here that says, what's the right age to leave home? Okay, and you have to read the essay and choose from the phrases A to E that you have there, which one fits the gap. Then listen and check your answers. So I'm going to just tell you the answers. So pause the video now, read A to E and put them in the correct place in the essay. Okay, so pause the video and do that, and then we'll go over the answers together. Okay, so I'm assuming now you've paused the video and you're back. So we're going to just say 1 and the number, just so we can get through it. So number 1 is C. Number 2 is D. Number 3 is E. Number 4 is A. And number 5 is B. Okay, so what I'd like you guys to do now is look at number 2. Which paragraph in 1 to 5 does the following things? Okay, so you've got 5 paragraphs in your example essay. Look at number 2 on page 72 and decide which paragraph does these different things. Okay, so again, pause the video, and when you're done, unpause the video and come back and I'll tell you the answers. Okay, so I'm assuming you're done now. Look at letter A. It says, gives a further argument in favor of the author's opinion. That's paragraph 4. B, sums up what has been said. That is obviously paragraph 5. Gives the first argument in favor of the author's opinion. That is, I believe, number 2. Okay? And D, presents a reason against the author's opinion, which I think is 3. Okay, guys? So, E says, introduces the topic and gives the author's opinion. 1. That's obvious. Okay, guys? So, in the original text, you have some linking words. Look in your book on page 73. It says language focus, linkers of addition and contrast. Linkers are just types of words that connect parts of your essay and sentences together. Okay, can you please have a look at the essay and put the words that you think in addition and contrast, okay? And then we'll go over it together. So again, pause the video, and when you're finished filling out number 3 on page 73, come back, okay? So I assume you're back now. Addition, you could say in addition, also, or another consideration. And with contrast, but, on the other hand, and however. If you guys have any more words, which I'm sure you have loads, please write them down, because it's always good to not repeat vocabulary. Keep doing different words, using different words as much as you can. Okay, guys? So what I'm going to ask you to do is I'd like you to plan and think about your essay before you write it, definitely, okay? But have a look at number 6 on page 73. It says, plan your work. This is really important in the exam as well. Don't just start writing, because it's going to be a huge mess and you're not going to have any idea what the point of what you're writing is. If you don't have loads of time, make a small plan so you at least have some type of structure, okay? So in number 6, it says, plan your work. Read the notes and write down the key words and ideas for each paragraph. Okay, so you've got paragraph 1 is the introduction. These days, nowadays, recently, it's really good to start with some type of figure or some type of interesting information. Paragraph 2 is, you could say things like probably the main reason, first of all, the most common reason for this, da, da, da. Have a look at all of the different ideas for the paragraphs in number 6 and plan what you're going to say. So your actual essay is going to be this part, just here, okay? Where it says writing part 1. It's an essay. This is the obligatory part of your exam. Okay, so you need to write your essay in 140 to 190 words in an appropriate style. That means, is it formal, informal? If it's an essay, it's formal, okay? So try not to use contractions. Don't say like gonna, wanna, I don't know, things like that. It needs to be something formal, okay? Good. So have a look. It says, in your English class, you've been talking about moving permanently to another country. Now your teacher has asked you to write an essay for homework. Write your essay using all the notes and giving reasons for your point of view. Some people decide to live and work in another country, like your teacher, okay? So think about me. Is it a good thing to live in a different country for a while? Write about work, okay, the advantages and disadvantages, language, disadvantages or advantages, and your own idea. We've talked about many, many different ideas in class, so check your notebook and have a look, because there are so many ideas that you could write about. Okay, guys? So I'd really like you to do this for me at least by the end of next week. It doesn't have to be this week, but it has to be next week. So I'm going to give you 2 weeks to finish this essay. And if you don't turn it into me, I'm going to ask where it is, okay? Because we've got our WhatsApp group and I can contact you anytime. So let me know if you guys have any questions. That was our lesson for today. And yeah, I hope you guys are well. I hope you understood the lesson. Again, if you have any questions, please let me know. Okay, guys, so we won't see each other on Thursday because it's a holiday, but we'll see you next Tuesday. Okay, take care. Bye.